Alright, so before we get into this real talk today, I just want you guys to know that on June 16th, 2018, this coming Saturday, you can be at 318 Morgantown Road at New Hope Division Center to see special guest Ken Jones and Minister Danny Wilson, along with guest artist Tyree Thomas in his own hometown. Be there, bring out the youth. It'll be a good experience for all, to reach the youth in this day and time. But without further ado, just hope you guys enjoy today, and remember to be there, and I'll see you there. All right, welcome guys. Welcome to the next latest Real Talk. And today's topic will be we'll be discussing how we can avoid stereotypes as not just young people, but just as people in general. And I feel like just being categorized by race or color or even as sex, like male or female, being categorized and being stereotyped against because of a certain thing that you are shouldn't be happening. But I'm here to discuss ways that we can avoid it. So first, we're gonna discuss about the youth and then how adults and parents can get involved with this. So today's youth, we've noticed that in this generation, the crime rates in our time have shot up. We've seen so many cases of police brutality, some of which cases were not police brutality at all. It was just people being results of the stereotypes that they grew up in, and that included the young African American males and young African American people as a whole, being stereotyped as hoodlums, and that kind of led to some of the effects that we've seen today. And not just African Americans, we've seen minorities being targeted, and even Caucasian people. We just see everyone being targeted because of who they are and what color their skin is and what ethnicity they are. So what I'm going to talk about today, once again, I just want to share some things with you on what I've researched and what I've thought about. So first, we have to diagnose what the stereotypes do to us and what they can do to us. So if we let ourselves become a result of the stereotypes that we live in, then we've done no good for anyone in our society as much as we've done ourselves. Just like you've seen some cases of police brutality when young people have been utterly and completely disrespectful and raised that way, and there's no excuse to being that. So I just want to bring some solutions today. One of the solutions I suggest, instead of thinking about all stereotypes, be who you are. Don't let people tell you who you are. If you were grown up without a father, don't let people tell you that you're gonna be a hoodlum. Don't let people tell you you're not gonna make it in life, because that's not true. I know a lot of people who've made it and didn't have a father in their lives. So not having a father or a mother or a parent or anyone to take care of you is not really an excuse for a failure. Another suggestion I can suggest from experience, not from experience, but from what I've seen in this lifetime. I've seen, for example, the incident in Waffle House where the young man was being utterly disrespectful to the officer and just putting on a show, or acting a fool, as we call it, acting a fool. So that led to him being arrested, and it put a bad rep. We already had a pretty bad rep for the color of our skin, but every time something like that happens, the stereotypes get worse and worse. It's not really anyone else's fault unless you actually let the stereotypes define you. So maybe if we stop worrying more on the stereotypes and worry more about being who we are, then we'd be better off, because I feel that you're only a result of what you think, and that includes how you were raised. If you were raised thinking something, then that's how it will be. All right, now I want to talk about how the adults can get involved in this, and especially on the young adults from in the teenage years, from 13 to 18. We can see that in these years, the minds are highly malleable. They are easily molded, so you can affect them the most at that age. Even when you even if you don't think you can reach them by just talking to them, because always something you can do at that age. So maybe just need to focus on helping raise right, in everything that you've done, everything that you're doing right. So I want to suggest something to the adults that's talking to the young people at this time. Instead of feeling like you can't reach them because you don't talk their language, maybe just try talking your language, because we don't speak completely different languages. We both have the same dialect. We both understand each other well enough that you can talk to them. And if you can't, then you need to establish the relationship. That way you can share your wisdom, your intellect with them. Share what you know. Share everything you know, right? So just try to reach them in as many ways as you can, including like just sitting down having a talk, or maybe going out and getting lunch. Because I've heard people say plenty of times that even as Christians or kingdom people, they've said the best ministry they've had is probably over a burger, over a milkshake. Maybe take them out for lunch. It'll be better off than sitting them somewhere where they feel uncomfortable. So just make sure that you are always helping them progress and not helping them digress, from the path that they need to be on. So what does this have to do with avoiding the stereotypes, you say? Well, in those ages, if the young people are molded just right and kept on the right path, then maybe we can avoid some of the situations where we have to be avoiding of stereotypes. So it's more like a preventative measure, so we won't have to avoid the stereotypes. We won't have to deal with the stereotypes. Because if you don't put yourself in that position, then you won't have to, But just in case you do have to, you need to know how to properly handle the situations, Whether or not you just like having a new police officer in town, came from somewhere he doesn't know very many of you. When you see him out in the neighborhood, make those connections. Go get to know people, because you never know when they might save your life, because you establish yourself as someone different, and they'll know, okay, this young man showed good character. Maybe you show, even with people you don't know, if you're just meeting them, if you're getting pulled over, you don't have to worry about your life being on the line if you know how to properly handle the situation. So just make sure you know what to do and where to do it. Just make sure you can properly handle yourself in situations where you could be stereotyped, and we wouldn't have to worry about the crime rates and the young people out in the streets and their lives being at risk every day and every second of the day. So I feel my two or three solutions are we can properly train them and teach them how do I want to put this, avoid being stereotyped. Or we can also, what we can also do is we can more than likely do this one. This will probably be the easiest. Be out there making connections, establishing yourself as a different person and not the person that the stereotypes see. So just what I want you to take from all this, just want you guys to understand that when you're trying to avoid stereotypes, don't force yourself into anything else. Don't create other problems by trying to forcefully avoid the stereotypes. So just do what God has called you to do. Do what's right, in the most cases. Do what needs to be done and do what you feel is right for you. Show yourself. not the stereotypes. Just as if I were out eating somewhere with a couple friends, and when we were eating, someone walked up, and they saw a couple of African American young men just sitting out eating, and it was a discrepancy with one of your peers. Figure out how to handle the situation properly without showing yourself as someone who's expected to be lower than you actually are. But I think that'll wrap it up for now. But I just thank you for tuning in. I hope you brought back. I hope you got something important. Just make sure you know that you're a representation of everything that you are affiliated with, even remotely. Just thank you guys for watching, and hope you tune into the next Real Talk. I'll probably be announcing it maybe later on this week, but we'll see what life has for us. But right now, just thank you for watching, and that'll do it.